Good evening, students. So we were doing light. Okay, we were studying this chapter, and till now we had discussed about aperture. Okay, we had discussed about the aperture, and yes, aperture we had completed. Fine, and we have also seen angular aperture. Now we will start from there. Okay, after that we will start. I told you that focus I will discuss later. Okay, focus I will not discuss here. I will discuss focus when we go ahead a little bit. Then we will discuss about the focus. Focus is also one very important term. Okay, focus is also a very important term that we will discuss now only. Okay, just now. Okay, so if anybody is having any doubt in previous class, till previous class, if anybody is having any doubt, so just ask now. If anybody has any doubt up to the previous class, okay, we had studied important terms. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask now. Otherwise, I'm going to start today's class. Okay, linear aperture you want to understand. Okay, so suppose there is a curve now. Okay, suppose there is a curve. Okay, like suppose if I make a glass sphere. Okay, hollow glass sphere is this. And now what I'm doing, now I'm having a mirror. I'm having a mirror. Okay, a mirror is like this. See, linear means length in a straight line. Okay, if I measure, if I say what is the length of this line, okay, so you will measure this length. So this is what? This is a linear length. Okay, linear means straight line. It is made from the line. Okay, so now if I ask you, what is a linear distance? Linear distance means a straight line. So linear aperture will be measured from this point to this point. Okay, now from this point to this point, you have two ways to measure the distance. One distance you can measure like this. Okay, one is that you measure this part, or you measure this part, or you measure this part. Okay, so this distance will be called as linear aperture. Linear just mean, the word linear just means that you have to measure it in a straight line. Okay, one is a linear term and one is a angular means you have to measure the angles. Okay, so angular aperture also we don't use much. Okay, at your level you will not use angular aperture more, but still I have told you that what is angular aperture. So angular aperture is the angle. So if I ask you what is the angular aperture of this, so you will tell either it is 30 degree, you will quote your answer in degrees or in radian. Okay, so it is like that. So this is all about the aperture, linear aperture. Now I'm going to start the rules for image formation using spherical mirror. Rules for image formation. Okay, rules for image formation using spherical mirror. Now let us start with the first rule, and here only I will discuss the point focus. Here only I will discuss focus. Okay, now I have told you that whenever you draw a image or whenever you are drawing a straight ray diagram, so how many rays are minimum? Minimum how many rays we will take for that? Minimum how many rays we will take for that? Two. Okay, two rays. Fine, correct. So this much you should understand. Okay. So now suppose here I'm trying to draw for a image, or if I'm trying to get the image of two parallel rays. Parallel rays means parallel to the principal axis. So just see here. So lines parallel to principal axis after reflection, what will happen? Okay. If lines are parallel to principal axis, if rays are parallel to principal axis. Okay. So what will happen after reflection? So let us understand that first. Okay. So see here, this is our mirror. This is our mirror. Okay. This is our which kind of mirror? Is this a concave or a convex? Is this a concave or a convex mirror? Which kind of mirror is this? Concave or convex? This is a concave mirror. Good. This is a concave mirror. Concave, not convex, prasanna. Concave. It's concave mirror, not convex mirror. What is this point? Pole. This is a point pole. Now, if a parallel line, if two parallel lines, one like this and one like this, okay, parallel to principal axis. These are parallel to principal axis. Now, when they fall on the mirror, okay, when they fall on the mirror, what will happen? They will reflect like this, and they will reflect like this. So when they reflect, okay, after reflection, they will meet at a point. So any number of parallel lines, okay, any parallel line if you take, all will come to this point focus. Okay, so this point. So any parallel rays, any rays which is parallel to the principal axis, let us say like that. Any rays which is parallel to the principal axis after reflection, okay, they come to a point, a common point on principal axis, and that common point is only called as focus. This common point is only called as focus. So F is a point called as focus. So how will you define a focus now? That any parallel line which passes, strikes the mirror after reflection, where it will go? It will go to the focus. It will reflect and it will meet at the focus. Now suppose if I have a convex mirror. Okay. Now suppose if I have a convex mirror, how you will draw the image for that? Okay, or a focus for that. I want to see the focus for that. So this is my principal axis now. Okay, this is our principal axis now. Parallel lines will be like this, and parallel lines will be like this. So what will happen to these rays now? These rays will diverge like this. These rays will diverge like this. Now, because they are diverging, so what I can say, that it appears that they are coming from this point. It appears that they are coming from this very point. They are not actually coming, but it appears. So this point is called as focus. Okay, this point is called as focus now. Where it appears to come from. This is pole and this is principal axis. So both the figure A and B, okay, both the figures are drawn for a concave and a convex mirror. Okay, so any line if you take, if I draw, okay, so what will happen? It will be coming to the focus only. Okay, no matter what is the distance. Okay, what is the distance from that focus to that principal axis to that ray? Whatever be the distance, no matter, it will meet at focus only. Okay, so this is the definition of focus, and this is the first rule, that any ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Any ray which is parallel to the principal axis will pass through focus, okay. So rays which are parallel to the principal axis, so I'm writing it here, rays parallel to principal axis passes through focus, okay. So this is the first rule. Now this is the first rule. The second rule, okay, if a line is passing through the focus, if the ray is passing through the focus and then going on to the mirror, let us understand that first. If the rays are passing through the focus, rays are passing through the focus, okay. So let us assume that this is our mirror, okay, and here we have our focus. Here actually we have our focus, okay. This is the point where I'm calling it as my focus. Now after reflection, that means the ray should come like this, okay. It is passing through the focus. See, it is passing through the focus. When it passes through the focus, what happens to it? What happens to this ray now? This becomes parallel to the focus, principal axis. This becomes parallel to the principal axis. Understood? This becomes parallel to the principal axis. Similarly, if I'm having convex mirror, if I have a convex mirror, okay, so let us assume its focus is at this point. Let us assume its focus is at that point. So now suppose if the ray is passing like this, okay, the ray would come like this and it would appear that it would pass through this focus point, this point F. After reflection, what will happen to this? This will be going parallel to the principal axis. This will become parallel to the principal axis. Okay. See, this is a ray diagram. If anybody is having any doubt in between, you can ask. In between, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Understood? So if I can say that if the rays are passing through the focus, after reflection, okay, after reflection, what will happen to them? After reflection, what will happen to them? After reflection, they pass, they become parallel to principal axis. So if you have parallel rays to principal axis, they pass through focus. First rule. If they are passing through focus, they become parallel to principal axis, vice versa. Okay. So two rules are done. There are two more rules. Okay. There are two more rules. So before going on to the third one, I would like to ask you a question which is related to maths. Okay. Geometry portion. Okay. Geometry portion of the maths, it is related to. Just tell me one thing. That if this is a circle, okay, if this is a circle and this is its diameter, this is its diametrical line, and this is the center of that, okay. So from any direction the ray will pass through focus. It is parallel. Yes. Any direction. If you think that if it is coming from here also, okay, here also, yes, it will pass parallel. It will pass like this. Okay. Understood? If it is coming like this also, it should go like this. Understood? But it should be passing through focus. Okay. Now the question to you is, this is a line on this point. I'm zooming it out so that it is clearly visible to all of you. Okay. At this point, if I draw a tangent, what should be this angle? Yes. Oh, sorry, I have drawn the angle itself. Okay, no problem. I myself told the answer to you. Fine. Okay. Now just see here. If I assume this to be my mirror, mirror, okay, and this is the incident ray. How the reflected ray will go? How the reflected ray would go? How the reflected ray would go? Retrace its path. Very good. It will retrace its path like this. Okay. Fine. If you understand this point, okay, so I'm drawing it now. See here, if we have a mirror like this, and this is my principal axis, this is center of curvature, this is focus, and suppose this is center of curvature. Okay, this is center of curvature, this is focus. And if I have a line or a ray, if I have a ray which passes like this, so after reflection, what will happen? It will go, retrace its path. It would retrace its path. If I have a convex mirror, okay, if I have a convex mirror, understood? So where its center of curvature would lie? Yes, its center of curvature would lie somewhere here. C would lie somewhere here. Right hand side, the C would lie. Okay. Now the ray should be coming somewhat like this. Okay, like this. And if this is the incident ray, the reflected ray should be like this. So what I can say now, if the incident ray passes through the center of curvature, the ray after reflection returns back to the same path without changing its path. Okay, returns back to its path. That means it retreats its original path. Okay, so that is how this ray will be behaving when it passes through the center of curvature. Okay, so that point only we are going to write. So ray passing through center of curvature, okay, after reflection, what will happen? The ray retreats its path. Okay, so this is the third case. Now the fourth one and the last one. Okay, the last one. Suppose if we have a ray, this is not a rule actually, okay, but still in some books we see it drawn. Okay, it is very easy. We have suppose concave and convex both surfaces. Okay, like this. Now if I have the rays which are coming like this, which is coming like this. Okay, so how it will go? It will go like this. It will follow. Okay, anyway it will follow only. Anyway it will follow only. Okay, anyway this ray has to follow the law of all the rays. All the rays, if you see, are actually following the laws of reflection. Okay, so there is no new thing in this. Okay, so actually as per me, this law, this fourth thing should not be taught, because this is very obvious. This is very obvious. Okay, this is a very obvious thing. A ray incident obliquely to a point P on a concave mirror or a convex will be reflected obliquely, following the laws of reflection. Okay, so if anybody is having any doubt in any of the four laws, if anybody is having any doubt in any four laws, you can ask that doubt now. Any kind of doubt. Yes? Is anyone having any doubt? Nobody is having any doubt? First slide. Are you asking this one? Guru, are you asking this one? The first principle. Okay. Okay. What happens when the light ray falls in some point on mirror rather than pole, focus, or C? Okay, I'll give you one thing. Okay, see, this is simple rules. Okay, I'll just give you one technique. Okay, or how actually these all rules are drawn. Okay, I'll get into the basic and I'll try to explain you. With this, you will never have a doubt. Okay, that from where the ray is passing, you will be able to draw its reflected ray. Okay, any surface you have, you will not face any problem after you understand this discussion. Okay, so just see here how actually these all four rules are drawn. Okay, so I'll ask few questions before that. Okay, so just tell me, if I have this straight line and if I want to draw a tangent, if I want to draw the tangent at this point, can you see this point? If I draw a tangent on this point, will it be like a straight line only? Will it be a straight line only? Yes or no? This is also a curve of infinite radius. A straight line is what? A straight line is nothing but a curve of infinite radius. Correct? Now, if I want to draw a tangent at that point, will it be straight line? Yes, it will be a straight line. Okay. So what we have to do for any given surface, either it is a curve or it is a straight line. Okay, just select that point where the ray is falling, so here suppose the ray falls like this, and here also the ray falls like this. Okay, now I have to draw the reflected ray. So what I'm supposed to do now? Is I have to draw the tangent. Like this, and I have to draw a tangent like this. Can you draw the tangents at the point? Can you draw the tangents? Yes? Yes or no? Can you draw the tangents at the given point? Yes, tell me. Okay. If you can draw the tangent, so now assume that tangent to be the mirror. Okay, for that ray, those tangents will be acting as a mirror now. Now draw normal. Okay. Now draw normal like this. So this line will be what? I. This angle will be also I. Now, law of reflection, just draw angle which is equal to R. Now, you would be thinking that in this case, I have taken the easier one. I'll make it difficult. I will make it difficult and then see. Suppose if the ray is falling here. Okay. Suppose if the ray is falling here. So if the ray falls like this, then what you have to do? Same procedure. Draw tangent. Draw the tangent like this. Tangent. Now draw the perpendicular line. Now draw the perpendicular line. So can I say that the perpendicular line to this will be somewhat like this? Yes or no? Perpendicular line will be somewhat like this. So if this is angle I, how will you draw the reflected ray? Reflected ray will be like this. So this is my reflected ray now. Is it okay? If the same ray would have come here, suppose this is incident ray. Now what you would have done? You would have drawn a tangent at this point. Okay. Tangent at this point you would have drawn like this. Now perpendicular to the tangent. Is this the perpendicular? Yes. This is angle I. Angle R should be like this. Is it okay? Can you tell what is tangent? Tangent is a line, okay, which passes through a single point of a curve. If this is a circle, okay, and a tangent is that line which passes through a single point, okay, a single point like this. It should not pass through more than one point. It should only pass through 2 points. This is not a tangent. Okay, this is not a tangent. This you can say it is a tangent. So for that, what you are supposed to do, just draw a line, a point where you have to draw the tangent, and then just draw a single line which passes through that point. Okay. How do we know at which angle should we draw that tangent? No. See what I am doing. I'm not drawing at any angle. That from that point you just draw a line. See here. Suppose this is a circle. Now. Okay. Now, if I ask you, I'm giving you points. See here. I'm giving you points where I have to draw the tangents. At this point, I will draw the tangent. At this point, I will draw the tangent. At this point, and at this point. I have to draw the tangents at these points. Okay. So what I will do for these things, for these points, see the tangent how I am drawing. I will not draw a line like this because it is passing from more points. Okay, it is passing from more points. So I should draw a line. Which passes through that point only. So it should be somewhat like this. See here, it should be somewhat like this. If I draw a tangent for about this point, okay, so the line should be like this. Understood? For this point over here, it should be drawn like this. See here, it is not passing through multiple points. It's only passing through a single point. Okay, I'm not drawing a line like this. I have to draw a line like this. This is tangent. Okay, this is tangent. It should be a straight line passing through single point. See, this is a tangent. So this is how we draw a tangent. Now you can draw the perpendicular on these straight line. Can you draw? If this is a straight line, can you draw a perpendicular on this line? This is a perpendicular line, and this will be the normal. And if this is incident ray, This is angle I. You measure this angle, and correspondingly I can draw this line. So this is how actually the things are drawn. Okay, this is how actually the things are drawn. Did you understand? If you have any kind of surface, you should be able to draw. Now suppose if I give you a surface like this, and if I ask you, if the ray falls like this, suppose if the ray falls like this, what you will do? So just see here, just zoom it out. I'm zooming it out and I'm drawing a tangent at this point. So the tangent drawn at that point would be somewhat like this. Now I have to draw the perpendicular to this. So perpendicular to this line would be see somewhat like this. It should be some angle like this. Now I can measure this angle and correspondingly I can draw a line like this, such that this is the same angle I and R. This is my reflected. So this is the way how you should draw the reflected rays if the incident ray is given. Draw the tangent at that point where incident is at the point of incidence. Okay, draw the perpendicular, draw the normal over there, measure the angle of I, and then correspondingly draw the angle of R. Okay, is there anyone who is still having any doubt in this? Is there anyone who is still having any doubt in this? Okay, so this was all about the law. See here also what we have done. This is the point of incidence. So you draw a tangent. You are supposed to draw a tangent like this. Then this will be the normal. This will act as a normal. So for this fourth case, this is my tangent, this is the normal, and this is angle I and angle R. Understood? Shall I move on to the next topic, image formation using the mirror? Shall I move on to the next topic, formation of image using the mirror? Okay. Are you people solving the questions of the chapter electricity? Are you solving the questions? Okay. So the next is image formation using mirrors. Image formation using the mirrors. First, we will start with the concave mirror and then we will start with the convex mirror. Okay. So convex mirror, 2 cases, concave mirror, 6 cases. So first we will cover concave mirror. Okay. So image formation using concave mirror. Okay. Okay. So there are 6 rules. Okay. After completing this point, okay, after completing this rule, all the 6 rules, I will give you a trick. How to remember. I will give you a trick, but only after I complete this discussion. Okay. So today will not be able to finish it, I guess. Okay. I will be only able to finish it next class. Okay. I will try to finish it today itself. But after the completion of the 6 ways to form the image, I will give you the trick how to remember. So the first is, when the rays are coming from infinite, okay, when the object is kept at infinite, or it is very, very far away, So first case is when object is kept at infinite. or it is very, very far away. Okay, so this is the first case. So let us draw the image. You can draw the figure with me. You can draw the figure with me. Okay, all the 6 figures you can draw with me. This is my focus. This is our center of curvature. Okay, this is our focus and this is our center of curvature. Now, the object is kept very, very far away. That means the object is at infinite. And remember one thing, that whenever the object is kept at infinite, let me tell you one point. Okay, that whenever the object is kept at infinite, you will have parallel rays to the principal axis. Okay, so this is a very important point that you should understand until you study this ray optics. Okay, either in class 10th or either in class 12th. Class 12th you will again have optics. Okay, ray optics. So if object is at infinite, object is at infinite, that means at very, very large distance. Okay, this implies rays would be parallel to principal axis. Okay, it will be parallel to principal axis. Okay, so this is the important point that you should not forget, that if the object is at infinite, the rays must be parallel to principal axis. Okay, so this is just an assumption that it will not bend, it will be coming parallel to the principal axis. Okay, the rays will be parallel to the principal axis. Now let us draw the ray diagram. So for ray diagram, we know if the rays are coming parallel, okay, if the rays are parallel to the principal axis, what will happen to them? After reflection, what will happen to them? Yes, after reflection, what will happen to all of them? Tell, just now you have studied. After reflection, what will happen to them? They will pass through focus. Okay, they will pass through focus. They will pass through focus like this. They will pass through focus like this. Is it okay? Now, if the image is formed at focus, because all the points are converging and they are intersecting at focus, okay, so the image will be formed at the intersection point. Okay, the image is formed at the intersection point. One more point you have to understand, image is formed at the point of intersection of reflected rays. Okay, so at what point they are intersecting? At focus. They are intersecting. Okay, so now we are going to write down about the property of the image. Okay, if an object is kept at infinity, one ray will coincide with the principal axis. Yes, it may. It may coincide. Yes, correct. It will pass through that also, no problem. It will go along that line only. It will go along that line only, na? Even if it passes along for principal axis, it will pass through that only, na? Okay. So what I have to write now? Okay. Position of object. Try to draw the table like this. Okay. Position of object. Okay. We'll write about the position of the object. We will write about the position of image. Okay. Then we will write about the nature of image, whether it is real or it is virtual. And then we will write about the size of image. Understood? Fine. So just tell me here, what is the position of object? What is the position of object in this case? It is infinite. Infinity. Okay? Infinity. What is the position of image? Focus. What is the nature of image? What is the nature of image? Nature of image. It is real. Why real? Because the reflected rays are actually intersecting. I told you when I was teaching you real and virtual images that for real images, the reflected ray will meet practically, they will intersect. Okay. But for virtual, what will happen? They will be appear to be meeting. Now, they will be real. Because they are real, okay, they will be inverted. Inverted. How inverted? You will see it will be visible only in the next next figure. Okay, next case. And the size of the image will be diminished or highly diminished. You should write, not diminished. You should write it as highly diminished. Highly diminished. Or point sized, better you write. If you write point sized, that will be a better thing. If you write point sized or point sized. Okay. Point sized. That will be the better thing. So what is the position of the object? It is at infinity. What is the position of the image? It is at focus. Nature of the image, real and inverted. And what is the size of the image? It is highly diminished or it is of the point sized. So this is how we draw the first case, that when the object is at infinity, okay, the object is at infinity, the image will be formed at focus and the object is at infinity now. Okay. So the second case, when the object is, how the image is inverted, we'll see here. We will see it here. Okay. We will see it in this case. In the second case, it will be visible. When the object is beyond the center of curvature. Okay. When object is beyond center of curvature. Now I'm saying beyond the center of curvature means what? Beyond the center of curvature means what? Let us see one point over here. Okay, just see here. In front of you, you are having a figure or mirror. Okay. Now, at how many places you can keep your object? At how many places you can keep your object? Okay. You can keep it at infinity. You can keep it at infinity. You can keep between infinity and between C. Understood? You can keep it between infinity and between C. So one point is at infinity. One point is beyond C. Beyond C, we write. Okay. Beyond C. Or if I write between infinity and C. This is the second point where I can place the object. Where I can place the third position. The third position will be here. The third position will be here. The third position will be at C. At C. Where will be the fourth position? Fourth position will be between C and between F. It will be between C and F. Where will be the fifth position? Fifth position will be at focus. Fifth position will be at focus. Where will be the sixth position? Sixth position will be between focus and pole. This is the sixth position. Okay. After that, you cannot place anywhere else. So that's why we are having total 6 cases. How many cases? One case when you are placing at infinity. Second case between infinity and C. Third case at C. Fourth case between C and F. Fifth case at F. Sixth case between F and P. Now, if you keep at pole, you will not form an image. You will not get an image if you keep at pole. Understood? So these are the 6 points where we will keep the objects. So now at infinity we have completed. At infinity we have completed. Now we will keep the object. We will keep the object beyond C or between infinity and C. So do you understand this point now? Is there anyone who is having doubt that how actually I'm selecting or how actually we are keeping the objects? How can you go beyond infinity? Can you go beyond infinity? Harit, can you go beyond infinity? If you can go, you tell me. I will also try. Can you keep an object beyond infinity? Yes. No. How can you keep an object beyond infinity? We don't know the exact distance. It's very, very far. That's why only we are calling it as beyond infinity. No? Understood? Okay. Beyond infinity, how can we have a case like that? Beyond infinity, how can we have a case like that? Understood? Okay. So one thing we will keep beyond infinity. Now, beyond C, not beyond infinity. Beyond C if I keep. So beyond C means I can keep the object here also. 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 It doesn't matter. Okay. But it should be between infinity and between C. That's the only condition. Okay. Anywhere between that. Anywhere between that. You can keep. Is that okay? Now. So to draw this image, okay, so to draw this image, let us take an object. Let us take an object which is kept here. Now, this is the point A and this is the point B. Now, I'm going to draw the image. So one ray, the first ray which I take, which I'll be taking will be always parallel. This is how actually I prefer to draw because this is the easiest way, easier than the book. Okay. Because we are supposed to only take the 2 rays. Na? We are supposed to take only the 2 rays. Understood? So any 2 rays, I will be able to get the image. Any 2 rays, I'll be able to get the image. Okay. So from anywhere you take the 2 rays. So one ray I will take, which is parallel to the principal axis, because I know that this ray after reflection, would go like this. Yes. And the another ray that I generally take, okay, will be through C. Okay. But if I draw for C, it will be like difficult for me. So I'll just change the location of the C now. So let us assume the C is somewhere here. Okay. So that it's easier for me to draw. So the C would be like this. Now, if I draw a ray which is passing through C, how it will go? It will retrace. Yes or no? Rule number 3. Rule number 3. Now, where are the reflected rays intersecting? Where are the reflected rays intersecting? Yes. Are you getting this point? Is it this point? Yes. This one? Yes or no? Okay. Can we draw the second ray through focus? Yes, you can draw. You want to see how it will be? If you want to see, just see. It will be like this. Passing through focus. Okay. Parallel to principal axis. It will be like this. It should be actually like this. See, I've not drawn the things using the scale and compass. Okay. I'm drawing the rough diagram. So if you draw it with the compass and the scale, it will be proper. Okay. It will be proper. So anyway, if it is coming here, so anywhere it will be coinciding in between only. Just see here. Yes or no? So that's not the point that it is passing through the focus. If I take this also, just see. If I take this ray also. Okay. If I take this ray also. So how it will go? Will it go like this? Will it go like this? So again, it is intersecting somewhere here only. Understood? So it should be formed in between the center of curvature and focus only. Now you just tell me, that I have drawn the image of this point B. Okay, I have drawn the image of this point B. So in this line, in this vertical line, in this vertical line, okay, B is here or B is here at on the principal axis or at the point of intersection. Where is B point? Where is B point? On principal axis or on the intersection point? Where is point B? B is on principal axis. On the intersection point. On the intersection point, we have B. So it is drawn like this. So this is B point and this is A point. Understood? So this is A dash and this is B dash. I will answer to that question, Ram Kumar, afterwards. Okay, just focus here. Afterwards, I will answer to that question. It is not like how many rules you are using. I can use all the 4 rules for one. Okay, it is like how many are you getting the image using 1 rule, 2 rule, 3 rules, or 4 rules. It is not necessary that you should use 2 rules or 1 rule only. You should be having intersection point of the reflected rays. That is more than enough to get the image. It is not that you should use 1 rule, 2 rule, or 3 rules. Understood? Now, so this image A dash B dash and the object AB. So image is inverted or is it erect? Yes. Inverted. Okay. So there is a doubt now that Mohana asks that we don't have any light ray. We don't have any light ray coming from the point A. Then how do we get the image of A on the principal axis? Very good. Just see now. Can I say that this line is passing through focus? This green color line is passing through focus. Can I say that, Mona? Can I say that this green line is passing through the focus? Yes. So what will happen after reflection? What will happen after reflection? After reflection, what will happen? Will it become parallel to the principal axis? If the line passes through focus, it should become parallel to the principal axis. Parallel to the principal axis is this line. Yes or no? I'm drawing at a distance, but it will be parallel to that principal axis, correct? So that I can retrace that. Yes or no? I can retrace it that. Yes. Now, if I see this is the only line which passes through the center of curvature. This is the only line which passes through the center of curvature. This is the only line which passes through the center of curvature. Then after reflection, what will happen? It will retrace its path. So these two rays, where are they meeting? Where is these two rays meeting? They are meeting at the focus only. They are meeting at the focus only. Okay. So that is how I can draw the image of point A. That is how I can draw the image of point A. So point A will always be in this figure, the way we draw the image. Okay. The point A image will be drawn like this only. Okay. It will be on the principal axis only. That's why we take it like that. That's why we take it like that. Okay. So this is now inverted image. So now again we are going to write down its property. So what properties we will write? We will write the position of object. We will write the position of object. We will write the position of image. Okay. We will write about the nature of image. Also, we will write about the size of image. Okay. Now, what is the position of image? Oh, sorry, object. Position of object. What is the position of object? Position of object. Beyond C. Beyond C. Okay. Position of image. Position of image between C and F. Between C and F. Nature of image. Nature of image. Is it real or virtual? It is real. Is it inverted? Yes, it is inverted. Okay. Now, what is the size of image? Is the size of object larger or is the size of image larger? Is the size of object larger or is the size of image larger? Size of object is larger than the image. So this is diminished. Okay. Diminished size. So the image that you get is of diminished size. Okay. Diminished. So this is the rule, or this is the second case. This is the second case now. Okay. So now I'll give you the slides. Now I will give you the slides, and meanwhile, if anybody is having any doubt, you can ask. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask. Remaining 4 cases we will try to cover by the next week. Okay. Meanwhile, if anybody is having any doubt, you can ask. I'm putting this slides on your screen. Just take the screenshots. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask. Every measurement is done from pole. Harit, every measurement is done from pole. Okay. Every measurement is done from the pole. I have a doubt, but it's really long. You can write and send me, no problem. You can write and send me afterwards. Yes, yes, no problem. You can write and send me. Okay, so this was up to here. I have given you a number if you solve any question, and if you get any doubt during solving any question or any problem you get conceptually, you can just message me. Okay, I don't promise that I will try to resolve it that same day, okay, or immediately, but I'll try my level best to solve it and send it back to you the same day, okay. But immediately is not possible for me. Okay, so any doubt you have while solving any question or any theoretical concept, if you are any doubt, you can just message me on that number. Okay, and if you have any problem from the book, so no need of writing the question anywhere and then send me. You just take the screenshot of the question and then send me. Okay, so with this I'll end the session. Thank you.